What's up, good people? So I got everything done. As you can see, you probably be like, man, what the hell did you do? You know, the floors get crumbled up. You see that hump right there? That's a tree stump. So a lot of times I'm trying to patch up a lot of holes that I've put in the damn floor to keep the ants out. This probably is like my 5th time, man. Again, I used to have the door to my right and the back to my left. I didn't switch this whole thing around where the door is now on my left and the back window is right here on my right. It all plays into the weather. When the wind blows, the wind normally blows east. So it's gonna be blowing toward me out of this window right here. Middle of the day, it's blowing south. So that means it's gonna be blowing from this big old mesh window looking thing. Some days it'll blow west, but that's probably because it's very cloudy outside and we might get some light rain. It rarely blows north just because the freeway curves a lot of the freeway will curve a lot of the air in just the direction that it's going. So yeah, man, I had a lot to do. Got it done. I'm starving. I just took a cold bath. I feel good. I feel accomplished. So let's keep talking about it. So when I'm leaving these jobs and I'm going home and I'm telling Terrell, some people may hear this. I'm sure it's not many, but some people may hear this and be like, man, you a screw up. Man, this dude was doing everything for you. This is what his nephew would say. And I'm gonna, let you guys in on eventually how that ended up turning out. But I could hear that voice even in my own head, like, damn, CJ, get it together. You say this dude is your best friend, but you're not making the sacrifices that need to be made in order for y'all to keep this apartment. It don't mean shit that you clean and you cook and you do this and stuff. That don't mean nothing, CJ. You're not holding up your end of the deal when it comes to paying rent. And so I kept hearing that in the back of my head. I didn't need nobody else telling me, hey man, that's some messed up stuff you doing to Terrell, man. I didn't need to hear that because I was a real friend of his. So I actually felt everything the lack of what I was doing, I felt it in my heart. Again, that goes back to meditation. I felt that shit in my heart. The way I was, the lack of production, on my end. So, I would always tell him, like, bro, I'm trying not to screw this up. I'm going to try not to screw up this job. I'm going to try not to screw up that job. I was always under the mindset that I owe him. When I did work at jobs, Chili's and a barbecue place and stuff like that, I could never really save money because every time I got paid, I would give Terrell a lump sum because, I'm not paying rent. So, that's how I would compensate him and let him know, like, hey, bro, I'm going to try to take care of the bills this time around so that you don't have to, give yourself some time to, catch up and stuff like that. Maybe take care of some things you want to do personally. And I ended up having to get on food stamps. It was just a number of things that I had to do, or that I was experimenting with to try to get on an even playing field when it come to paying rent. This was embarrassing. You can talk all of this stuff, CJ, but you can't do something as simple as hold a job. Now, of course, I can, say with confidence, it ain't shit wrong with me. It's the disgusting society that I live in that there are more dummies than there are people like myself. There are more people who are unforgiving than there are people like myself. There are people that are jealous. There are people who don't like authority. There are people who are in a position of leadership who shouldn't be. And that's the society that I just so happen to live in 2024. A guy like myself cannot flourish in this type of society. So people will say, oh man, you know, you need to try kissing ass. You need to try this. You need to try that. So I said, all right, I'll try it. And it still produced no fruit. It feels weird wearing shorts. And wear shorts are so damn long. You know, I tried everything to the point where, just like in high school, remember that? Just like in high school, I tried everything that I could to fit in. And it didn't work. So when I got the job at Family Dollar, they fired me, and I can put it in quotes for stealing, because I was taking things, writing them down, showing my boss, taking a screenshot or what have you, put my signature on the receipt, and you know, clip it to the register, letting her know I was going to pay for it. And the reason I did this was because I did it, you know, to start with, and she didn't mind. You know, she was like, okay, it's fine. You know, just get it, you know, pay it as soon as possible so we don't get in trouble. And I said, okay, because again, going all the way back to my first job, I've always had this pattern of starting jobs broke. When people get to go on their lunch and people get to, you know, eat and things like that, I didn't. You know, they say, well, man, make something at home. There was nothing to make at home. You know, it's either get what's around my area or show up with enough food in my belly. But at the time, I told you guys, my health was so bad, I was always hungry. And it affected my attitude directly. So when that happened, she was like, Charles, did you pay? Now watch how coincidental and gross this is. I had access to Digging My Check. You know, they have these apps. And every day before then, I was, you know, digging in the check. So this particular day, I'm panicking because I'm like, why in the hell haven't I got my access my money? At work, I'm, you know, refreshing my phone, trying to find out what the hell is it. And the next day, she said, hey, Charles, we having a loss prevention come. Did you pay for everything on the receipt? And I was like, no, I didn't. I've been waiting on my money. And she started shaking her head like, Charles. And she was like, did you pay for what you eating on right now? Which was some goldfish and a Gatorade. And I was like, no, ma'am, I don't have the money. I'm eating it now with hopes of being able to pay it before I walk out the building. And she was like, Charles, I got to let you go. Just like that. Hit me like a ton of bricks to my face. Like, what the fuck? And she was like, Charles, we having too many, because the problem was what I was doing wasn't the big issue. It was the issue of people coming in the store, taking loads of washing detergent and all this different stuff and walking straight out the back door. I mean, people were really being assholes when it came to their criminality. They would just walk in the store. I seen actually one of the guys, and I was like, hey, bro, you just walked in the damn store. I seen what you had. You didn't even pay. Like, they would just walk in, grab it, and walk out. Look you right in the eyes. As we all know, living in crime is at a ridiculous rate, and it's flagrant. So that was the issue, was that everything that was coming up missing, was that if you were to add me to it, it's like, nah, bro, we got to get rid of somebody. We gotta put a stop to this. So I got fired. She gave me an option. She said, you can either stay here and talk to loss prevention about it, or you can leave the store and never come back. So I left the store and I never came back. I went home as disappointed and disgusted with myself as I could possibly be, because it was so unpredictable. At that time, I started taking Prilosec, and I was doing a lot of research on what the hell could digest my pills and this food and all this stuff for making me feel so sluggish. And at this point, I'm already used to sticking the toothbrush down my throat and throwing up. So I came home. Now, gotta pause there. While this is all going on, I say about a week or two before all of this took place, Terrell is on his PS4, and he's talking to his nephew over the headset. And his nephew is like, hey man, me and Elijah, which is his friend, was like, hey man, me and Elijah, we're gonna come down there and we're gonna get an apartment and so on and so forth. And Terrell was like, oh, that's what's up. And so Terrell was like, Tarek was like, well, I don't want to pay for storage, so can you watch my stuff? And at that point, I was coming out the room, and Terrell was like, hey bro, Tarek want to bring his shit, is that okay? Now the way I'm raised is like, bro, I don't pay no bills, my nigga. Like, I barely have any say so. So I was like, yeah, I ain't tripping. Like, who wants to pay for storage? So what was happening right under my nose and right under Terrell's nose was that his nephew was running game on him. His nephew comes down all the way from Atlanta, drove 12 hours, comes down, and he's like, hey, y'all, what's up? So we shaking him up and everything like that. And the first couple of days was cool. He goes and picks up his friend Nyrese, not Elijah, Nyrese from New York. Picks him up from the airport. They come back to the house. So it's two of them now. Elijah had enough common sense to see what the kids call see the play. That Tarek was trying to leave Elijah high and dry. He has a lot of his mother's tendencies, which are very evil and methodical. Where, dude, it's getting by that time, man. It's getting hot just walking. And well, you know what? I'm gonna leave it there. I got stuff to do, guys. I'll see y'all later.